I was so close to quitting, I really thought that I wasn't going to be able to do this one. Let me just give you some quick background before I go into what I've created and how it sounds. A few days ago on the official Fender Discord for the Tone Master Pro, a user called JGG, yeah. I don't know how you pronounce that, sorry. Hi everyone, I'm trying to recreate the synth sound from the Final Countdown by Europe on my Tone Master Pro. I've tested different effects, octave, pitch, modulation, EQ, but I'm still struggling to get something convincing. It always sounds too much like a guitar. Any tips on effect chain or settings to get closer to that synth vibe? Well, almost immediately afterwards, Olivia Dixon wrote, maybe John's Guitar Garage can help. Well, that sounded like a challenge that I couldn't pass on, and I knew basically where to start, but I couldn't get anywhere close to that original synth sound until I changed one thing. So the first step was to head to YouTube and see if anyone had made a tutorial on how to recreate that synth sound. I know we have synths in the Tone Master Pro, so I thought this would be a good starting point, and I found this video.
Start with a plain saw. Use 4 voice unison to get that big smeared sound. Let's make it a little less intense. And widen it. And then to get rid of that aggressive attack transient, we're going to turn off oscillator start. But we're going to add a whipping pitch attack transient with mod envelope. And then to get rid of some of that digital bite on the attack, we're going to bump up our amp attack. And then give it a natural release. And then reverb.
You might not be interested in recreating the synth sound, but if you hang around to the end of the video, I will recreate John Norum's solo tone for the guitar solo in the Final Countdown. So the first step, add a synth. So we have 3 different synths to choose from, the Ethon, Cerberus, and Wavemorph. Now I know that the Cerberus allows you to do multiple waves at the same time. So I thought this is the starting point for me, and I'm going to set them all, because it said unison, I'm going to set them all to the same thing to start and see how that sounds. So we go with up to the top, Sawtooth, and another one, Sawtooth. Let's bring the level down in case it's really loud. We'll go with 65% on all 3. And I'm going to put the pitch to 0 for all 3. And I'm going to change the attack so that it's not quite as aggressive as that. I'll put the cutoff about halfway. I'm not sure what to do with that. We will play around with these 2 in a minute. I don't want the LFO at all, so that's off. We don't want, I want the spread. Yep, we want to spread it like it said. And we want some detune on there as well, which looks about right there. We'll put it a bit higher. In fact, let's go high and then we'll reduce it. All right, so let's see how this sounds. Still an LFO on. Ah, there. I think I've missed a setting somewhere. Oh, is this it? Now that doesn't sound anything like what I was hearing from that video, and nothing like the intro to the Final Countdown. So see what I mean? It just doesn't have the same effect at all. I tried putting the pitch of one of these down to an octave below. Still sounds like a toy. Detune, reduce that. That's a bit better. So I fiddled around with it for ages, and eventually I came up with this. Now, at first I was playing it here. And what I've done here is I've got a sawtooth, and then a square wave, with the level quite low on this square wave. And I've set all the pitches to -12. I mean, it could be set to 0, it could be set to +12, whatever. But what I found was that if I played it in a different place on the fretboard, it actually sounded better. So go figure. But this, really nothing different here. Spread set up there, detune 24. All the LFOs off, volume up full. And I've turned all these sliders down, and I've just got the cutoff set to 17K. Anyway, let's say I was playing it here. Got to remember not to do vibrato. The next thing I tried was shaping the signal a little bit after it's been through the synth. So what this does is it takes away some of the bottom end, which is this bypass here. Sorry, this low cut here. And then I used a little cut here. Well, it's quite a big cut actually, -12 decibels at 2.1 kilohertz. This was to take out some of the high pitch that sort of sounds almost like it's like harmonic detail or something in it. We didn't want that in there. The next one was to boost a frequency. So sounded a bit flat. This one puts back that kind of synth sound back in, that kind of buzzy sound. I wanted that. And then finally, I have this sort of high cut here. Just gets rid of any other extra kind of sounds that we don't want. Next up, I added a compressor. This was just to try and level the sound going into the synth so that it was less like a guitar, more like a synth, where the touch sensitivity is not the same. Forgot how to play it then. I think I was playing it up here. Helps a little bit. Then, to fatten it up again, I put the micro shifter at 4 cents on both left and right and added that. Which I think works really well. That gives it a bit of a more of a synthy sound as well. And then added the reverb. I put a huge reverb on here. It's probably not this big, but I just thought, why not? That decay is way too high. And then finally, I added a digital delay because you could hear in the original recording when he plays, it does one repeat. And now comes the part that changed everything for me, because I thought that doesn't sound anything like it still. I mean, let's go to the original for reference. And back to what I was playing. Close, but not really nailing it. Just going to turn this reverb off for a second. So then I tried playing it up an octave higher. Now, there's something about playing at that high register rather than putting the pitch up in the synth itself. Just sounded more like the original. I'm not sure why. So this is what I've stuck with. But let's give it a go. Let's put all the pitches back up to 0. And let's try playing it an octave lower. I don't know, it just doesn't sound anything like the same thing. But I do have to say it's very tricky to play because you're right up on the 22nd fret for the high part. So it starts on the 21st. So not the easiest thing to play in the world, but if you can get that synth sounding the same as that and play it an octave lower, it's much more manageable to be playing around this area. So there you have it. That is my final countdown synth. I hope that the user JGG, how do I even say that? Yeah. I hope that the user is satisfied with this result. Hopefully they could use this live. And then you would switch to the guitar preset. But of course, I can't leave it there, can I?
What did you say?
I felt like I couldn't really just leave it there and just do the synth sound. I had to have a crack at John Norum's solo, so I created a preset for that as well. So if we go to the solo, I've got the tabs up here on screen, so I'm going to play off that. I also looked at the video and I was checking out what guitar he was using. I know it's a video, it's not the actual album or whatever. Guitar solo. Turn off the captions, please. You can see he was using a regular Fender Strat with single coils on this one, and he looks like he's using the bridge position. I'm using my RG550. I'm actually going to use the neck position, the neck humbucker, because I like the sound that you get with that when you're doing the solo. But I'll also show you with the bridge humbucker just to see how it sounds. Let's go to my preset. It's a very simple setup. I figured that John Norum would have used a JCM 800 for this recording. So I have the gains pretty high and the master's high too. I've got the presence up an 8. I've boosted the middle and the treble, and I've cut the bass back. I've paired it with a V30 cab. It's pretty much what everyone was using in the 80s anyway. So this is using a single SM57 on the cap edge, on axis, 112 hertz low cut and a 5.2 kilohertz high cut. I have a large hall reverb, which is very over the top, and I also have the prime delay at 415 milliseconds with the mix set down to 16%, like that. With the reverb, it's way too much. I'll bring down the pre-delay a little bit as well, so there's not so much of a delay when you hit them. It's just this, I wanted to get that kind of huge arena sound, so I thought, why not? I've also added a super drive with the drive pretty high and the level maxed out, and I've also boosted the tone on it. Now this is going to get noisy. You can hear a little bit of hiss from that. I'm not going to bother adding a noise gate. You can if you want, but it doesn't really bother me right now. So the tone has a lot of gain. Most people will say that's way too much gain. I don't care. I want it to cover up the fact that I can't play the solo very well. Now, I'm not going to play along to the original recording because I cannot keep up the pace of John Norum. So it would just sound messy if I tried to do that. So I'm going to play it a little bit slower, and I'm just going to play it on my own. These are the tabs that I'm using from Songsterr.com. You can find these for free. And the solo is, in my opinion, probably quite accurate. There is also a harmony part. I don't think this is accurate, so I'm not going to bother with the harmony. I'm just going to stick to this. Okay, so I'm going to give it a go using the neck pickup. Pretty sloppy, but you get the idea. Let's try it now with the bridge pickup. And just because he was potentially using the bridge pickup on a single coil guitar, let's split the bridge pickup coils. Going to be a little bit more buzzy.
You suck!
So there you have it. That's my JGG Final Count solo preset, which you can find in the Fender Cloud. You can also find the final synth down also in the cloud. So those are for free. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was pretty frustrating for me at the start, but also pretty satisfying once I finally got that synth lead sounding kind of like the record. Just shows how powerful the Fender Tonemaster Pro is. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to sign up for Inside John's Guitar Garage. That's my weekly newsletter, and you should find all the details in the description below.